Reports are stating that Chairman Daniel Levy met with Qatar Sports Investments in the last couple of days to discuss possible investment into the football club. It also states that Daniel Levy has been to Qatar since the turn of the year. Sporting manager Ruben Amorim has come out again and said if Spurs want to sign Pedro Porro and Marcus Edwards, then pay their release clauses. Reports are stating that Bentancur, Kulusevski and Richarlison could all be back for the North London derby on Sunday. And the Daily Mail are stating that Spurs are interested in Brighton star Leandro Trossard. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Tottenham News, where I'll be going through all of the latest Spurs news, rumours and reports. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit that subscribe button, like, share and comment below. Or if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit the follow button and leave a review if you can. Now let's start with the story that broke on Sunday evening about Daniel Levy's meeting with Qatar Sports Investments. Now, journalist Ben Jacobs of CBS Sports has provided another update on this situation and said more on Nasser Al-Khelaifi's meeting with Daniel Levy last week. Sources say it was to discuss possible investment and there was no ECA aspect to it at all. Al-Khelaifi, who was in London, was solely representing Qatar Sports Investments, although Spurs deny any discussions took place regarding equity at the club, and that is important to add for full balance. Multiple sources have provided information to the contrary. Ben Jacobs also then goes on to say, also told this wasn't Daniel Levy's first discussion with Al-Khelaifi on potential investment, and interestingly, Daniel Levy has also been to Qatar since the turn of the year. Journalist Ben Jacobs then goes on to say it is important to stress it's still at early stages and unclear how or if things may progress. But several people familiar with the matter have stated that Qatar Sports Investments are in for a very ambitious year and would like to minority invest in a Premier League football club. Qatar Sports Investments already have a 23% stake in Braga, and it's believed they would like to explore at most 30% in a Premier League club, but more realistically less of a stake should they invest in a Big Six team. Ben Jacobs then goes on to say, once again, Tottenham's position is in denial over discussions, a normal and sensible response before anything is advanced or official. But there is no doubt that there has been recent and still active engagement on the subject between Spurs and Qatar Sports Investments. We're now on day 9 of the January transfer window, meaning there is 22 days left, and Spurs are now being linked to Leandro Trossard of Brighton and Belgium. A report out today from the Daily Mail are stating that Spurs and Chelsea are considering bids for the Belgium international. Reports in Spain are stating that Villarreal do not have the option to buy Giovanni Lo Celso. So if they want to buy the player, they will need to negotiate with Tottenham Hotspur, and it is understood that Spurs will be willing to accept around 20 million euros, the equivalent of £17.6 million. A report has just been published by the Daily Mirror, and they are stating that Spurs are set to receive a triple injury boost before the North London derby at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, as Bentancur, Kulusevski and Richarlison could all return. And speaking ahead of the North London derby, Tottenham Hotspur and South Korean star Heung-min Son has come out and said, "We have a massive task at home. Everybody must be ready to throw their bodies in, and we're good to go." Now, sporting manager Ruben Amorim has been talking to Record in Portugal about his players Pedro Porro and Marcus Edwards. The duo keep being linked to a move to Tottenham Hotspur in the January transfer window. He has come out and said they only leave for the clause. We are ready. We know the amount of attacks that go through Pedro Porro and Marcus Edwards. Nobody is blind here, but the market is what it is. Now, the Evening Standard have stated that it is believed that Pedro Porro has a release clause of £39.7 million and Marcus Edwards has a release clause of £52 million. Now, my thoughts on these stories in this episode. Let's start by talking about Daniel Levy's meeting with Qatar Sports Investments. Now, Ben Jacobs did confirm that they do already own a 23% stake in Braga, and it is believed that they would only explore at most 30% in any Premier League club, but more realistically less of a stake if it was going to be in a top 6 club. I have absolutely no doubt that clubs are approached all the time about selling up or investments coming in, and I've absolutely no doubt that Qatar Sports Investments have probably been in touch with most, if not all, of the Premier League clubs, about investment. So watch this space, but I can't see anything changing in the near future. And I would be extremely surprised if any other owners came into this football club in the near future before a deal was done for the naming rights. Because let's face it, that is going to be one hell of a deal. It is going to be a world record deal and fee, when it happens. We moved into that stadium. Our first Premier League game was back in April 2019 against Crystal Palace. That is now nearly 4 years without a naming rights deal. It is still known as Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So I'd be very surprised if the club was sold or we had heavy investment into the football club before this naming rights deal was done. Now, Heung-min Son coming out saying we've got a massive task at home on Sunday. Everyone must be ready. Absolutely right. We have got some huge games coming up. Arsenal at home, then Manchester City away. It'd be interesting to see how many points we pick up. It will be interesting to see our performances against, and let's face it, and I hate to say it, 2 top sides who are doing extremely well at the moment, first and second in the Premier League. We've got to give absolutely everything in these matches. Having said that, what a boost it would be if Antonio Conte had 1, 2 or even all 3 players back. Richarlison, Kulusevski, Bentancur, all 3 of these are such important players. We saw in the last January transfer window, Bentancur and Kulusevski coming in. They transformed our season, and really, without them 2, we probably wouldn't have got top 4, wouldn't be playing in Champions League this season. So very, very important. If Conte had 1, 2 or 3 of these players back, it could be vital, and it could mean that we get the 3 points against our North London rivals. Now, Ruben Amorim, the sporting manager, has again come out and said if Spurs or another club want to come in for Pedro Porro or Marcus Edwards, just pay their release clauses and the deals will be done. Fabrizio Romano stated only a couple of days ago that Pedro Porro wants to join Spurs, would be very open to joining Spurs. Other reports have stated a contract is already in place. It is just all about paying the money, and the deal may be done in the summer window. Me personally, being a Spurs fan, I would love this deal to be done in this window, in the January window. Back Antonio Conte for the sake of £39.7 million. His release clause would then be met. He would then become a Tottenham Hotspur player, and I think that would be the definition of backing our world-class manager Antonio Conte. We definitely 100% need a right wing back in this January transfer window. So 22 days left of this window. Please, Tottenham, let it happen. Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening to this on an audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you on the next one. Until then, come on you Spurs.